Here we are on what is perhaps one of the most important sites in the whole of the town of Carrickfergus. We can talk about a town of Carrickfergus from the arrival of the Anglo-Normans in the late 1170s under John de Courcy. He built the castle, he built St Nicholas's Church and a monastery out at the Woodburn River for the Premonstratensian canons. His successor, Hugh de Lacy, decided he wanted to build a monastery to the Franciscan order under St Francis of Assisi. And this is what we're standing on today. This is the site of that Franciscan Friary. And as you know, St Francis is associated with animals and birds and that sort of stuff. So it's not surprising that when this site was excavated, they found amongst the burials of the monks a monkey, a gibbon monkey. So they have the bones of that. You can come and see it in the museum here in Carrickfergus. After the Anglo-Normans left, well, the town was developing around about, and we have to jump to the Elizabethan plantation of Carrickfergus in the late 1590s and to Sir Arthur Chichester. He was appointed Lieutenant Governor of Ireland, and he set up his #1 position here in the castle of Carrickfergus. Now, he was given as much land as he could hold on to, and Arthur Chichester decided that he would build a very palatial house for himself on this very site. So perhaps by this time the Franciscan Friary had fallen into disrepair and they cleared the site. So Arthur Chichester builds what's becoming known as his mansion on this property, and it's called Joymount Palace. The last remaining part of Joymount Palace is this very impressive stone-built tower, which was part of the original gatehouse. Now, the Chichesters were very powerful, and they wanted to have even more say of what was going on, and they gradually moved their position to what becomes Belfast, and Joymount Palace falls into disrepair. And by 1779, the local administration had taken over this site, and they decided it was ideal for building what was to become the County of Antrim courthouse and jail. Now, the courthouse you can still see behind me here. It's now the town hall, but the jail, these are the walls, the east and west walls of the jail still are here, but the jail itself was in operation from 1779 up until 1850, when the prisoners were removed to the leafy suburbs of Belfast to the newly built Crumlin Road jail, and the poor people had to walk from here, probably in chains, from Carrickfergus to Belfast to go into the newly built jailhouse. So this again falls into disrepair here, and it is eventually taken over by the military to be used as a barracks. But by 1850 it wasn't in good state. Now it's going to be taken over by the military, and this came under what was the newly formed in 1854 the Antrim Artillery Militia. They were what became known really as the summer soldiers. They were territorials. They came together. There were local farmers' boys and people who came together to train in military operations in the summertime. And we know that they had their annual camp once a year in what was the Barn Fields, which is now Carrickfergus Golf Course. So they trained and came together. Now, the Antrim Artillery Militia were very well organised, and in 1900 they actually went to the Boer War. They served in the Boer War, and their Colonel Pottinger, and their Sergeant Major McCabe were both mentioned in dispatches, which was very honourable for them. In 1896, the current buildings, these lovely red brick buildings that you see here, were built by the army as ordnance stores. There's a north wing and a south wing. The north wing was used as an ammunition store, and above it there was a rifle range. And on the south side here, this was be more stores and barracks for the soldiers. and that is when obviously the building we have here, the warrant officers building and the little jail beside it, these were built from 1896.